everyone, I hope you're all well today. Today's reading is going to be the words that they left unsaid. So as usual, we've got the three piles, pile number 1, pile number 2 and pile number 3. So if you want to choose your pile, we'll just get straight into it.
La música de Harry Fraud.
Right, pile number 1. I'm going to go through this slowly and then try and bring it all together. Right from the very beginning, I can see this is them and what they're thinking, what they're feeling almost, and what they said will hopefully come through at the end. You've got the King of Pentacles for this person, just checking out my camera's on, and you've got Aquarius, Psyche, or Psyche, I don't know what it is, and the 10th house. So as I was putting these cards out, I felt right from the very beginning that this person was quite balanced in many ways, quite mature in many ways, but there doesn't seem to be many cup cards at all. And I only just noticed that now, but I definitely noticed it with these 4 cards at the beginning. This person thinks they're very mature in the way that they act in life and the way that they think and the way that they handle things. It makes me think of somebody who's born first in a family, who accepts taking responsibility as their role. They like to be looked up to and they like to seem as if they're in charge of things. With Psyche here, though, this person's quite sensitive. They read people well, they understand situations well, and very likely could be a businessman or a businesswoman. With this combination here of being practical and mature and aware, makes me think of somebody who can basically mull around the business world, and mean mole as in like under the ground, and keep popping up and making the best of situations. But with Aquarius in the 10th house here, see, these all make me think of somebody who's very aware and very directed in what they want out of life, but not in an aggressive way, just in a very focused way. But with Aquarius at the end, almost throws that up in the air in some way. Unless they work in some sort of humanitarian business or for some humanitarian concern, this person finds it very difficult to marry up the different aspects in themselves, and definitely the emotional ones. And I'm thinking here as well with the Aquarius with these cards here, they don't know what they want. Practical, psychic bend, 10th house focused in outside world and how they like to be seen, and career. But with Aquarius at the end that doesn't fit in, this person doesn't know what they actually want, and this may feed into the rest of your reading. They've been very focused on who they want to be and how they want to appear, but without any cup cards, and with this Aquarius card in this pile at the beginning, this person doesn't know how to feel and doesn't know how to get what they want unless it's practical or career orientated in some way. That's what I'm picking up from those 4 there. Right, let's go through the cards that you have out here so far. So the question was what they left unsaid. Right, this person, I was going to say, is somebody who comes in with a big rod but actually only has a little pentacle to offer you. This person's come in and wanted to come in, actually probably just wanted to come in all guns blazing, get your attention. They just feed off your affection or just the attention and the attraction that they get from you. But all they've had to offer you is something small. I'm thinking of rude words that my children say for things that are small and is concerned, but I can't actually get them out of my mouth. Not like that. So the Knight of Wands is somebody that flies in and is very sort of gung-ho, wants to get things moving, very excited. It's basically, this is the adventure and you're coming with me. But in reality, I think this person in the past has only given you small parts of what they feel they want to do with you. The Aquarius card here, this person has wishes and has desires and wants to go to certain places, but they don't know how to put them, they don't know how to get them rolling. And for somebody who's quite practical, that's quite difficult. So this person, in the past, the situation has ended. Without doubt, if the situation hasn't ended between you and this person, or you're not together now, this is definitely the wrong pile, because it starts off with the Fool. And the Fool is very much like this Knight of Wands cards we were just talking about. It's throwing yourself into oh my gosh, excuse me, I just can't speak. It's throwing yourself into a situation, and it's being excited, and it's everything is new, feels like electric. It's like an electrical storm before things really start rumbling and rolling, and that's how this person feels like when they met you. And then you have either argued or parted ways in some way that they perceive as quite negative because it's upset you and them, or at least one of you. And all they've been able to do is offer you a small part of what they actually wanted to offer you. And then you've got the Ten of Swords here, which makes me think again that the situation has ended before they've had a chance to give you anything else. I don't think there's much communication going on between you two at the moment, and you're both left thinking about what has happened and where to go next. The World card here as well, in the near future, everything wrapped up, and even like the Wheel of Fortune here, it makes me think of two wheels. One's actually wrapped up, the other is karma. It's normally positive karma though, but it's still on that wheel. It's almost as if the process has started and you've just got to keep hanging on as you go round. It's like being in a big wheel without a seatbelt. You can't get off. There's nothing you can do. You're just holding on. Right, you have been left in this situation looking and waiting for what's going to come next. So you can't actually move forward or say anything or do anything. It makes me feel that you're disempowered in some way. Maybe through lack of contact, or maybe through not knowing what to say, how to act, how to get in contact, because you're afraid it's going to be taken the wrong way, or you just can't physically get in touch with this person. Once again, this person is still around you, offering you little bits. Lots of promises about big bits, and you're just getting little bits from this person. Right, I've got some extra cards here for the end, not for the end, I keep looking at that card here. This is to sum up what they wish they'd said in some way, but I will tie it in with the rest of the pack. You've got the Hermit twice. The Hermit to me speaks of reflection with regards to this question. Speaks to me of somebody who has gone off and thought a lot about it and actually matured a bit. A little bit more. There's still the walking off, and there's a need for communication. There's a need to talk about things after they've mulled it over or thought a bit more about this situation. Right then, let's go for it. Let's try and sum it up. What they wish they'd said, or what they've left unsaid. Right, your person is somebody who's a real mixture of being quite work orientated but quite receptive in many ways. They're very established in what they do, or at least they think they are. They're very grounded, and they're very good at giving. This person gives but doesn't actually give emotionally, because I don't think they're very practiced in using their emotions and how to express them. Expression is something that comes out quite strong here. They're very good at reading you. They're very good at knowing what you want, and they actually know when to give back, but it's almost as if they've got very excited at the beginning of the relationship, very attracted to you, and then almost not being able to give you as much as they wanted to, or they just don't know how to do it. The 10th house is very work orientated, work focused, so I wonder whether work gets in their way in some way, or gets in between you both. This person wishes and hopes and thinks and knows what they want, they just don't know how to get it. I think this person has rushed into you. Oh my God. I'm going to take that back. I think this person has rushed towards you, and it's almost started and stopped in a very, very sort of quick start, quick stop. This does sound like a carry-on film. I'm so sorry. and the situation has ended. And now they've been left to reflect and to think about what they've done and what they actually wanted and how they should have really expressed it. But the situation to me is very clear here. There's not much going on. You're waiting. They're giving you jack shit, really. They're not giving you much at all. They're giving you small bits. Let me put some cards on the end here, because that to me is Jupiter, and it's normally something that goes in your favour or with regards to the question. Because it's Jupiter, and I know it's the wheel and things go up and things go down, but I always take a positive look at that one. Look's not the right word. Let's have a look. In the situation. Oh, bless. Right, this person wishes they had let you know how much they feel for you, and it's almost like a connection that's sweet. And you may not want to hear this because it's not sexy, but it's very sweet and it's very heartfelt, and there's just that connection there where they feel good with you. This made me feel a bit sad. This person doesn't know how to express themselves because you've gone all the way through this pack with really sort of, here I am, I'm so good at my job, yes I can connect, yes I can go out in the workplace, oh my God it's ended, I'm reflecting on what's happened, and I really want to start things off again because you made me feel good and I couldn't express it to you. So this is getting a little bit closer to answering your question. You make me feel like I was young again, you make me feel open as this person can be emotionally, and they've just had time to think on that, and that's what they wish they'd said. Right, so what was left unsaid in this relationship? I'm sorry, I'm not very in touch with my emotions. I can read what you want, I just don't know how to express it. I know that I rushed in and probably led you down a merry path at the beginning, and although we're not together now, all I can do and all I know how to do, because that's the way I've been brought up, is to offer you small bits of practical offers to show that I still feel for you. So, and this Hermit card here would say, I've reflected, I've thought a lot about what's happened between us, and my feelings are genuine and they are strong, and I want to keep the communication open, and I want to let you know how much I really feel for you, and you just make me feel good because you make me feel at home. Right, pile number 1. I hope that makes sense, and I hope me speaking in the third person isn't like some scary horror film, because I just came on then. I hope that really does make sense to you, because this, as soon as I pulled out these two at the end, and the fact you've got this person trying to be, it's like, to me, when you see people, because I work so much with kids, that when you see people, you get all these mature cards coming out, I still think of them as children, and they're just, we're all trying to play grown-up games, and this person is trying to play a grown-up game, but doesn't know how to express their emotions very well. So when these two cards came at the end, can you see them? Sorry if I've been holding them craply for you. Yes, I have. Oh, bless you. I'll show you the cards before I go, because I haven't actually. Hold on. Ooh. These two cards came at the end. Just made me feel really sorry for them, because they feel it, they just don't know how to express it. Let me show you other cards, because you haven't seen them, and I'll adjust them for the other cards. This were your beginning cards, your Fool crossed with your 3 of Swords. So that is basically them jumping in, heartbreak ending, basically through no expression. In the past, you've got an end and a practical. It's ended. All they've been able to do is offer you small practical offers in some way. And then the near future was them reflecting, but basically all wrapping up. You keeping an eye out, wanting to know what's happening, still waiting for some sort of flicker of emotion, them giving you absolutely no emotion whatsoever. But this is the situation surrounding them, rushing in because they're excited and they're attracted to you. And then the end result is things getting better, because they feel genuine affection for you. So I interpreted that as what they left and said is, I really feel for you, but I've not been able to express it very well. And I'm sorry that it's ended. Okay, pile number 1, I'm going to leave it there. I hope it makes sense to you in some way. Let me know in the comments, because it helps me a lot to read the cards better. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you again. Bye. Hi there, pile number 2. Let's have a look. The words they left unsaid. So let's go. Right, pile number 2, I'm going to go through this bit by bit. The words they've left unsaid right from the very beginning, I'm getting the feeling that this person has two sides to them. One side that is like a Scorpio fiery pile. One side that has a real emotional side that they don't show to many people, and the other side which is very expressive. In fact, it wouldn't surprise me whether expression or creativity or in some way showing off is part of their career, or they get paid for it, or they're just very good at being on a stage, even if they're just talking to family at Christmas dinner. They like the sound of their own voice and they're really good with it. But there's a different side to them. It's like a Leo Scorpio moon. It's like somebody who's very expressive, very open, but when it comes to relationships, clam shuts down. I'm going to go through this pile and try and sort of dig through and see what words from what happened and what they're thinking and feeling, what they wish they'd said. Right, so either you two work together, or you have worked together, or there's some connection with you that's quite practical. 8 of Pentacles is normally a team working together. So I don't know whether it makes me think of either you're quite a solid couple, or that you possibly could have been married, or there's a long-term relationship here, or at least a long-term connection. What's crossing that is probably the fact that, to be straight, it's just ended. Somebody's turned their back and walked away, or the situation separated in some way. If it's a work relationship, you may just have moved departments, or you may not just be as close as you were to each other. Now, these two cards behind are really interesting to me, because the King of Pentacles is whether you're male or female, you can swap these two around either way. The King of Pentacles is somebody who's very established, very strong, very practical, very mundane, very controlled, and very much somebody who likes things just so. The Empress is the complete opposite, but not really. They're both like the ideal, old-fashioned ideal husband-wife type. Doesn't matter any sex, but this is just the general feeling. The Empress card is somebody who, in an old-fashioned sense, it's the lady who stayed at home and made it look good. She would have been the beautiful woman on somebody's arm, and I know this is insulting, but I'm going to carry on because I'm just trying to express the card, on this businessman's arm, who looked good, smelt good, could cook, and really old-fashioned feel about being just genuine, ideal woman. Looked good, smelt good, cooked, kept a beautiful home, just that really sort of 50s feel about these two behind. So I'm not sure what this means yet, but this is the two cards that come behind. So subconsciously, I'm wondering whether they saw you as this perfect partner, and they saw themselves, without doubt, they saw themselves as your perfect partner, and vice versa, because you're coming across later on with the card down here in the one that represents you, the Queen of Pentacles, to their King of Pentacles. It doesn't matter whether you're male or female, it just shows equality, maturity, and a connection there. And with the Empress there's like the physical attraction as well. And it's an ideal. The Venus is just basically that card that makes the other person think that you are their ideal. You're that ideal partner. Right, so now, some connection there that's quite established, could be a work connection, separation, ideal partner feeling. 3 of Wands here makes me think that they possibly are just watching and waiting for something to happen. They want to communicate, and I think there possibly could be in the future some communication that's going to get things rolling. I know this isn't answering your question yet, but I need to go through it until I understand. I wonder whether you still are together in some sort of work situation, or there is still some contact, especially with this Ace of Swords here, which is communication, and it's going to happen more so in the future. The 7 of Pentacles here with the 8 of Pentacles, it's still that work feeling, it's still that practical feeling, it's that connection that's probably still ongoing, but it's small. It's this person is working and giving you small bits, and it makes me feel that this possibly could be something they have to do, as in you keep bumping into each other in work, or you bump into each other in a practical situation like in the high street or in a shop, or just there's something that was very mundane, that there's still that little pentacle being given to you, or vice versa. Right. Okay, this person's hopes and fears, they've got the Queen of Wands here, and then you've got the King and Queen of Pentacles here. There's lots of people involved here, and there's one too many, or this person's, with this Leo card and third house card here, this person is looking for somebody who, the shadow side here, and this new moon, who marries the two parts of themselves that they can't quite link together. They want feisty and fun and expression and showing off, and this third house and this Leo is the type of person who, when they're with somebody, there's lots of very romantic expressive words. It's somebody who whispers words in your ears continually. With the shadow side here, somebody that has a deep who needs a deep connection with somebody. So there's that two sides, and one's quite showman, one's quite intimate. Right, it makes me think. Right, I've got to tell you what I'm thinking in a minute. The Knight of Cups here, they wished they'd expressed their feelings for you more. From somebody who's very expressive, I think when it came to emotions, this makes me think of like a Scorpio moon, somebody who has got like outgoing planets like the sun possibly, or more expressive. But when it comes to women, if they're a man or vice versa, whatever sex, sorry, I keep going back to my everyday situation, I don't mean to insult anybody. Whatever your sex, this person's emotional fallback is to be a little bit more reserved. They felt the connection, they felt the attraction, you make them feel good, they wish they'd express it a little bit more, but I think they were really tight-lipped with the way they felt, and they've just given you this Seven of Pentacles, which is the same down here. You've got it twice. The Seven of Pentacles is being practical, working on something, and just basically giving enough or saving enough to keep themselves going, and they wish that they'd given you more. Right, pile number 2. I'm going to start summing this up now. I've got a little bit more of an inkling. Right, I think that your person has two parts of their personality. One very showy offy, one very expressive, somebody who likes to talk, somebody who likes to be the centre of attention, somebody who has all the jokes up their sleeve. But when it comes to emotions, they're actually quite impassioned and quite intense. They've seen you as their ideal partner because your card here connects with the card in the past, which is making me think that that is them, and you've also come up with their subconscious thoughts and feeling as the Empress. The situation may be on some sort of practical ground that has now moved apart. I think that they are watching you, and probably both ways. What they want to do is communicate to you, and sorry, there's people outside. They want to communicate to you and just tell you instantly. They won't tell you this because I don't think they understand it themselves. Tell you that they feel correct. You feel correct to them because you pull those two parts together in them that they can't do, and that's where the attraction is with you two. And they wish they'd expressed that more. Right. So what they left unsaid. What they left unsaid is you're my ideal partner because you do everything the way that I wished I had the gall to do. You're more expressive emotionally, and you're also very good with other people. You communicate well, and I think you express yourself quite freely. They don't do it not as freely as you do, and I think they admire that in you. They would like to tell you that they want to keep the communication open more so if you're separated, and they're prepared to put the effort in, which I think they have done all the way through, but I don't think it's been quite enough. And with the Knight of Cups here, there's a real admiration for you. Admiration is the word I would use with this pack. They admire the way that you have done things. They admire who you are as a person. And the Knight of Cups at the end, this person would like to say to you, I have fallen for you, and it's a shame that I feel here that I haven't shown you enough and that we're separate now. But I don't know, to be honest, whether this person This person makes me feel somebody who's got a bit of a blockage and doesn't know how to give enough at the right time. So what they've left what they have left unsaid is, you're who I want to be. I admire you for who you are and how you express yourself so freely. I wish I was a little bit more like that. I've become quite blocked when it comes to expressing myself in relationships, although you wouldn't know that by the way that I am in everyday life. I am still waiting. I want to keep the communication open. I want there to be more communication because I have genuine, heartfelt feelings for you, which I would like to express a little bit more. And I know that I've only given you bits in the past, but the connection with you is strong and it feels as if it's right. It feels like one of those like nodal contacts that just feel right. The six of, I don't know what's going on outside. The Six of Cups here, it's like a connection that just feels like home. Right, pile number 2, I'm going to stop there. I hope that makes sense to you. But this person feels that you live your life like how they would like. It's admiration how they would like to live theirs, and you do it quite easily, quite freely, and quite creatively. And I don't know whether you're a fire sign or you're just really good at communicating, but you make them feel quite staid. And they've almost reverted back to that, as in a self-protective sort of way. I just give bits, I give bits. Maybe she or he doesn't find me as attractive as I'd like to appear to them. Right, pile number 2, I'm going to finish there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that makes sense to you. And I hope to see you again. Bye. Hi there, pile number 3. Right, let's go. What they left unsaid. I'm just going to go through it bit by bit. I'm going to walk my way through it and then try and sum it up at the end, as I normally do, to be honest. Your person, I think, is somebody who, I'm going to use the word volatile, but I don't know if I mean that, is somebody who's all or nothing. To begin with, they've got the 10 of Swords and Scorpio. So Scorpio, it doesn't like grey areas, it's black and white. The 10 of Swords makes me think exactly the same thing. It's either you really love me, or it's not happening. It's somebody who wants everything from you. It's that type of feeling that somebody wants to suck your soul. But you've also got here Uranus, and Uranus is exactly the same. Nobody ever speaks about that, but Uranus is somebody who could be quite pushy, somebody who's very direct, somebody who's quite intense, but in short bursts. It's all or nothing. They're quite fixed, they know what they want, but all or nothing is exactly the same. The 11th house is a house of dreams and wishes. I think you've got the star at the end here as well. This person has gone into a relationship with you or seen some sort of possibility of a connection with you and wanted it all. They're not prepared for I'm going to say this because I think it feeds in later to these cards here. They're not prepared to be the third wheel or for you to be the third wheel. It doesn't quite do their morals or their sense of justice very, very well. That's not very well termed, but for there to be 3 people in a relationship. So if there are more than 2 in this relationship, it's something that they've felt they can't move forward with because they can't have as much of you as they want. It's got that sort of old-fashioned English romantic fairy tale feel about it. You know, the type of person that declares undying love on some hearth in front of a fire in some old Gothic building. It's that type of feeling. It's all or nothing. Right. I do think that you two have a very strong connection, and I think this person has felt it and smelt it right from the very beginning. There's that, this is my person, this is who I want to be with. You know, they can see it in your eyes and vice versa. It's a real, strong, emotional connection where they feel that they've met the one. But the 3 of Pentacles comes up behind and crossing the small cross here. So this is what's making me think. Either there's too many people in this situation, as in they haven't been able to express themselves very easily with you, or there are too many people in this relationship, as in one of you is committed. And so they're just feeling, right, I just want everything, I can't get everything, I can only get bits, it's not good enough for me. Not that you're not good enough, but they want more intensity, I think. And what I think subconsciously they have thought, which goes with exactly what I'm just saying there, is this has to end unless I'm going to get everything from this person. And they've put on this facade of being very calm, everything very polite. The conversation is just very polite. How are you? You know, do you want me to carry your bag? Temperance is balance, and to them this is not enough. You're coming across as the Empress. It's almost as if you're untouchable and they just can't get hold of you and you're their ideal. And they feel inadequate in this relationship in some way. What's the word when you feel like impotent? That's the word. They feel impotent in this relationship because they feel the attraction, and because they can't quite get it moving, it's almost as if it makes them feel useless. So they don't actually feel very worthy or sexual, or to them it's like, I can't move it, I can't do anything with it. You know, with polite conversations are all very nice, but it's not me. And this person is just left with wanting. The magician is something this person has. Makes me think of somebody who's quite sexy, somebody who has lots of skills under their sleeve and they know how to use it and they know how to woo people. Really old-fashioned word, I don't know where it came from, but they just haven't been able to with you because the opportunities haven't been there, maybe due to group situations or work situations or somebody else around you, or you're committed. And they've just been left with this feeling, the star here and the 11th house, it's hopes and wishes, and you've got the Empress for you down here. It's like you're that ideal and they just don't know how to get it moving because they're not prepared to do the polite conversations or a stolen kiss. It's just not going to be enough for them. There's passion there, there's passion and there's endings and there's coolness, which is what we've said all the way through this pile. There's passion, there are passionate feelings. This person is a passionate person. In Uranus there, I wouldn't say it's passionate because they're quite cool, but it's definitely intense. Uranus is very intense. If you speak to somebody that's got a lot of Uranus in them, that you can tell that there's something explosive about them. And the 11th house is hopes and wishes. This person, the things that they've left unsaid to you is, I can see that this relationship can't move forward at the moment. So what we're doing is we're taking it really smoothly, really calmly. We're putting on faces for each other so that other people around us, whether they're partners or just groups of people that we work with or just a group situation, we're putting on this facade of everything being okay. But to be honest, it's not okay for me because I want more from you, and it makes me feel inadequate and impotent in this relationship unless I can get some passion out of you. And all I'm left doing is thinking and feeling as if you're my ideal, but there's distance there. There's a lot of Uranus here, a lot of Aquarius, lots of hopes and wishes and idealising you, but not being able to get enough out of you that they actually want. I think this relationship is something that started off really well, and you've both recognised that you don't bump into these type of people very often, those people that you're really attracted to, and there's been some sort of scenario or situation where it's almost you can't get together. I don't know if you're always in groups and you just haven't simply just not been able to communicate well, or whether there are, there's somebody else in this relationship, like 3 people. Whether male or female, I don't know. And so what it's reverted to is almost polite hellos, where you're almost pretending you don't feel for each other. This person doesn't do that well. This person wants everything. It's a real sort of vampiric feel to it. And I don't mean that in a negative way. It's almost a case of, if I can't have your soul, then I don't, I just can't move with this. And there's communication. I just still think there possibly could be communication between you both. I don't think it doesn't have to have ended if you don't want it to, or vice versa. This person doesn't feel like they're getting enough, but there's no like world card or there's ending cards. And the end card is the star. Okay, yeah. For them to get what they want in a relationship with you, they have to do something underhand and something, and I don't know if this card is underhand and sexual or just underhand and a new beginning. So what they have, the only way that this person can be satisfied with you, and these are the words they've left unsaid, is if I do something underhand, my morals won't allow it. You're just in a situation with more than two people, I think, but you both know you're attracted to each other. Right, okay. So, what they left unsaid is, oh my God, where's that voice come from? They left unsaid is, I have genuine feelings for you, but I need everything from you. I think that it's very difficult for us to actually express ourselves, either because we're always in a group situation or because of other partners. And when we do see each other, it's always surface level talk, and that's not enough for me. I am a man or a woman of extremes, and it's all or nothing. You to me are ideal beauty. But because I feel impotent in this situation, because I feel like we can't get close to each other, and I'm trying desperately to try and get things moving, but all I'm left is with the decision, or the only option is to do something unjust or what they would term as not morally correct. And that doesn't rub with them either. It's almost like rock and a hard place. Right, pile number 3. I don't know if that makes sense to you or in any way, or just bits of it, but that's what I've got from that. Quite an intense feeling from this person. Somebody who watches and waits and then pounces when, then they feel the attraction is so strong that they almost feel as if they unleash it, they get carried away with it. A real Scorpio and Uranus paths, they're very intense. Those two planets together, Pluto and Uranus, are really intense, but they're rejuvenating in so many ways that they basically shovel everything up and start new and fresh. So with the Ace of Wands at the end here, there's a possibility that this could start again, but it would start in a very intense manner. So if you're playing with this person, it's probably best to keep your distance, because this person wants more from you, and they're not the type of person you want to kid around with. Not through a nasty way or a frightening way, it's just that you wouldn't match each other. If you want to play with this person, you probably need to pick somebody else, somebody who's a bit more easygoing and fun-loving. This person wants quite a lot from a partner and is prepared to put the effort in to meet you there, but they want it back. It's quite a passionate pile. Right, pile number 3, I'm going to leave you there. Thank you ever so much for listening to me today, and I hope to see you all again soon. Bye.